Café Momentum is a paid post-release internship for young men and young ladies exiting Dallas County juvenile detention facilities. Whereas we like to think of ourselves a new model for juvenile justice in our country, where instead of putting young people in handcuffs and isolating them and reinforcing to them that they're bad, we build an ecosystem of support around them and give them the tools and resources and opportunities to achieve their life's full potential. It's important for us as we look to expand around the country that we partner with organizations like Players Coalition. Not only does it allow us to expand our mission, but more importantly, it allows us to further the advocacy and outreach using the platform that Players Coalition does such an incredible job of providing and amplifying. In everything we do, it's most important that we use that platform to make sure the young men and women that we work with feel that their voices are being heard.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? My name is Jermaine Davis.
What's up, everybody? Like you said, Devin McCourty.
Hey, everyone. My name is Alexander Madison.
What's up? This is Anquan. Played 14 years in the NFL, co-founder of the Players Coalition.
What it do, everybody? DeMario.
With the pandemic hitting our country, it put a halt to our ability to have these dinners and conversation. And so we turned to a virtual format where we gathered around a virtual table, broke bread together, and had meaningful conversation around juvenile justice, around the young men and women that are affected by the juvenile justice system, and how we as a community can better serve them.
And then they would always just like threaten me, like, oh, we're gonna call the police, or like, we're gonna suspend you, we're gonna call your PO to get you locked up because you want to wear that. You're not gonna give me any solutions as to what I need to fix, but you're just gonna tell me what the problem is.
Everybody needs a mentor. The mentor is so powerful because they help create a standard and a direction for your life.
And I had to grow up in a way where I had to conduct myself to be a sophisticated young black man, to be respectful, to make sure that, I was 2 steps ahead of, where they saw me.
At the end of the day, it's going to be every single person getting right with themselves and having to check their bias and do that really hard kind of internal looking work. We're working against hundreds of years of history.
One thing I learned from my uncle at a young age, used to tell me all the time that I always stuck with me is hold your head up like you have a nosebleed. And that just always stuck with me. So like, I always keep my head up, even though I'm not confident. You gonna know.
I'm gonna use that. I'm stealing that from you.
I'm stealing it too, Chad. Hold your head up like you have a nosebleed. I'm telling my daughter that one.
One of the keys to making these dinners successful was the athletes actually stepping up and allowing themselves to be vulnerable. It created a space where the kids began to feel more comfortable, the kids began to feel connected, and they allowed themselves to be vulnerable too and really tell their stories.
I have to make myself vulnerable if I want to help somebody else, or if I want somebody to listen to me or take my advice or want to make a change for themselves.
What you have and your experiences are what give you power. And a lot of people that are in my position, professional athletes, they have a platform, but they don't have the power because they don't have those experiences to help connect them with other people.
There is nothing more powerful. There's no other powerful experience than a lived experience. It cuts through everything, and it has a laser pinpoint focus on you knowing that you can reach it and really hone in and connect with somebody.
But I'm glad I went through all of that because that made me who the person that I am today. I can look in the mirror and smile. I can actually say, okay, I'm unique. I know who I am.
But I truly feel like this, and I'm sure like our fellow athletes can agree. What gives you strength is your vulnerability. It's not the first press they do on the bench that's giving them strength. It's that last one where the arms are shaking, and if I can just lift this up, that is what builds strength.
It was so incredible to bear witness to this magical moment in every single dinner where the words and advice from these professional athletes really began to resonate with each one of the young men and women.
Yes, sir. When he says that, it gives me a sense of comfort.
And I can see now that me taking that path on the fork has led to good decisions. But still there's things that I have to deal with today. If you grow up in certain neighborhoods and
You might have some PTSD that you got to deal with. That's just that's a fight that I'm working with.
For me, I just kind of look at the bigger picture of being intentional in every single step of your path. Along that way, you were walking steps of triumph, of growth, and there's going to be trials and tribulations along the way. But if you have intent in every single step that you take, there's something you can take away.
Like, I don't look at like the small things no more. I always try to look at the big picture. Cause it's like more things that's happening in this world. Just not the juvenile system. It's way more bigger than that. Way more. Not just with youth. It's with grown-ups too. Like, I can't just stop at juvenile. I gotta keep going. Like, grown-ups need help too.
Yeah, and what you said, Jade, is spot on. You are absolutely right. And blame isn't the word in that situation. Control is. There is a lot more onus on adults than there is the youth. And that's where youth kind of get confused, because sometimes youth put in situations where they have to grow up fast. And that's unfortunate, because youth are put in situations where they feel like they have to be in control when they shouldn't be. The onus is on those adults, because adults are being put in situations where they have a lot of control. Understanding control in that aspect of, there's a lot of things that happen that's not in our control. Now, the things that are in our control is how we respond to the things that happen to us. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Now, I have a choice. When pain hits my life, I can be upset, I can be sad, those emotions. And you know what? I can shut down, or I can give up. That's a choice if I do that. Or I can find a way to channel that pain into my future and use it for positive. Like, that's a choice. You're responsible for that choice.
Here's the solution right here. This is why we're telling you to change it, because it works another way. It's not the yeah but that they're going to return. It's the yeah but they have an opportunity to grow and to develop.
Opportunity matters so much, and regardless of what community you grow up in, or what your background is, or what you look like, or what your skill is, you have just as much human potential as any other human, and it shouldn't be a one strike and you're out game. That, I think, is something that institutionally we really need to do a better job of, is making sure that we're really living in pursuit of those kind of equitable opportunities for people, regardless of their background or regardless of where they're starting, because we're all just as limitless.
You want life to take you. Where do you want to go?
I do want to be like a mentor to them, just because you had a little step back. Even if it's a major step back, like, you can still like move up.
Like, I'm gonna show people that even though I'm a young mom, there's still things that you can do. If you really want it, you can do anything in life. You just gotta have that want, that hunger in your mind and in your heart.
But I'm 16 and I got a big mind and I got a lot of plans, like, for this world. Like, being here right now talking, I don't know how much this means to me. Like, my name is I'm unique. Like, I feel like I can do anything.
I learned that if you really believe in something, like something that you want to do, never stop trying to do it, especially if you really like it or if you're interested in it.
Everyone's struggling in the household, so for me to be able to get put in a job just off of those 3 days of just learning from Café Momentum, those 3 days changed my whole life, from in and out of hotels and homes to being able to stay above water, if that makes any sense.
So Cafe does need to be everywhere. It does. I totally agree. And I would do anything to make a fundraiser, whatever we need to do, set up a GoFund, whatever. I'm down with it. I'm down.
It gives people hope. Mm-hmm. And hope is such a powerful thing.
These conversations are powerful, and after every single one of them, we always say it can't get better than this one. And every time it gets better than the one before. And I think that goes into fearlessness, because we're developing fearlessness in these conversations, because we're at a point right now where we're ready to conquer those things. So the things that you talked about, whether it's social justice, whether it's racial inequities, whether it's juvenile justice, racism, we're ready to conquer them.